Hey everyone, happy weekend. And I thought I would read you out some emails and show you some of the things I found. It's not easy looking through these things. I've come across so much crap as well at the same time, so much misinformation, especially about Jay-Z. Apart from him, buying out parts of, I don't know where he was from, for the Super Bowl. And I think this is the thing with Epstein. The information he was gathering on people, and it was valuable information for that place over in the Middle East. He was getting information on Prince Andrew, Peter Mandelson, Les Wexner. The list was endless, and Leon Blacken's included in that. And when they talk about the trilateral meetings, and they're basically talking about the capitalists who get together every year for Bilderberg, putting the world to rights and telling us how to live. And you've got to think to yourself, this is what Epstein was involved in. I mean, it wouldn't have been very good for the outcome. It wasn't. I mean, it cost England its economy. Peter Mandelson giving information away costed our economy. Prince Andrew, I can't remember what he disclosed to Epstein. But he's actually been outside the Houses of Parliament. I've got a picture there with him outside the House of Parliament with a big group of people redacted. So it's deeper than that. These people were all involved, all part of it. The deposition today was boring as hell. I'm listening to Les Wexner, but I know he's lying through his teeth. I know he's not telling the truth. It's very difficult. But I can see again, how, business-wise, he knew who's a target. Everyone he did target all had things that he found useful for him to hear about. He visited a lot of beautiful places. I'm just going to find the one where he went to the UK. I was very disgusted by that, I'll be honest. I hate the thought of this man being wined and dined in England like he's something useful in life. No, he was trafficking women to these elite people, and 90 times he landed there in Stansted. It's not a usual airport to go. It's not your usual. You would have to know a lot about where to land, where not to land in the UK, and not be seen, because I'm just getting a drink. Here we see, images of Michael Jackson with Clinton. And we don't know, I think this was 2002. He looks very young there, Epstein, so the jets, where is that? In the UK, probably. There's his island. I wonder if it's Les Wexner's plane. Don't know who this guy is. I just want to see the UK one because that's great. Wow, I think there's Les there having a threesome with his wife. There's Zorro Ranch. It's a big building, that is big. These were places fancy men went to. There's always these girls who have to keep their eyes shut, basically, and these men go in. But they can tell by the voice that it was Clinton, so I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Such a distinctive southern accent, but they had to keep it to themselves, because if Epstein knew, then he knew. Which is absolutely stupid. That's how blatant they got. All this beauty of trafficking, beautiful women, beautiful, buildings, but they're just drenched with soulless, actions. Here's the one I was talking about now. Okay. Doesn't that look like Michael Howard? These are children. These are women, but most of these are a child. I could tell that's a child. Going to a house in England. Where is this? Looks like a different area then. But that's coming up in a minute now. Where is it? They literally stand outside, you know. So, Kevin Spacey. This looks like our school. Looks like maybe an African school or something like that. See, this is the sickness of the illness, the disease-ridden problem they have of being paedophiles. They're all involved in something like schools and charity, and look at this one. Sorry, I lose the train of thought to speak properly by these people. I really do. I'm sorry, I don't sound exciting enough, and I want to. I don't want to show. I want to show the realism. These are African people, you know, children. That's probably the sadist who's into the teeth thing, and I do feel she's part of this as well, and she enjoys that type of behaviour. There's loads of emails indicating she's jealous. She's all, you know, yes. She's dependent on him because of the money, you know. A girl, very young girl wearing a sailor's outfit. Or, I don't know. There's Chris Tucker. Not bad. It seems like the same girl. Anyway, she hangs around with Meghan Markle. There's a picture of her with Meghan Markle as well. That looks to me like Prince Andrew. That's weird. But yeah. Children. It's pretty hard to think, but a lot of these girls, sad, they come from very, very, very poor countries, and to get someone rich paying for their education and paying for their mother's treatment is such a grip on you, and you've got to think about it. These people have been groomed by probably fathers, other people. We're going to show you a bit of what Leon Black's going through as well. This one, is that 2023? He arranged to pay a woman off in this email, and you know, he's got a really bad issue, this man, with women, biting them, you know, scarring them. These women were physically damaged for life, you know. So at the moment, his case is going through. I mean, he's got a lot of cases like Epstein. People don't seem to be pointing out. Do you have time to discuss a victim who recently came to our attention with connection to Epstein Maxwell case? To be clear, we aren't suggesting investigating Maxwell for more crimes, but this victim has identified potential traffickers, and we think it makes sense to do it a bit of due diligence before deciding what, if anything, we should do with this information. Okay? GC gave me permission to talk with me about the investigation. They were considering a civil lawsuit or being involved with an Epstein compensation fund, but you can't speak out once you do that. But once a DANY to look into the allegations against Black goes by something. Clear check identified based on the date of birth and name, blank, All potential last names for blank and from blank. These show clear reports of associated names introduced to her by Maxwell when she was 17. Had significant other names. Was named this. Blank told her that it was an apprentice program. She met Ghislaine and Epstein. They, Maxwell and Epstein, watched movies together, told her to sit on his lap, flew her to Palm Beach and St. Thomas in New York. One particular incident with Leon Black, Blank drove her from Blank to New York to see J.E. Townhouse. J.E. introduced Black by name as Leon and told her she would give him a massage. J.E. had introduced her to others for similar massages. Jean-Luc Banal also knew other names but was afraid to talk about it. Yeah, I'm sure she is. Black was very violent, tore her clothes off, bit her private area, forced it. Not clear whether Blank knew about Blank allegations public at the time of the first interview. She needed medical attention after bleeding. LB left her money on the table before he left the room. J.E. took the money because she didn't want anything to do with it. She did not describe payments from J.E. 2001 sexual assault by Black stood out to her because of how violent he was, I should say. Blank also said that she always talked about this guy, Black, who stood out, so she's got witnesses that described him looking like Shrek. That's mad, isn't it? Because human. This is why I thought with human, is it Black? You know, someone as deranged as him. Showed her photo from the article of Black. She confirmed it was him. Was introduced as a mentor and she turned her over to Ghislaine. Blank gave her a phone which was used to communicate with her, Black, I think. Clear search put her Blank, his most recent address for Blank and from the credit union on Clear. DANY tried to get phone records but was not able to get any. Blank would treat her badly if J.E. reported to Blank that she wasn't good. She wasn't good. Right, so if he weren't happy with that, he'd report it to Epstein, who was Punisher. One time, dragged back up a flight of stairs by her hair, she was terrified. Blank would be physically included by slapping her. Ghislaine and Blank were controlling Blank's body. J.E. liked the girls to look a certain way. Blank would receive expensive luxury gifts, earning earrings, etc. after the trip with Epstein. Blank get new outfits or food after the trips. Allowed to eat something bad normally. She had to watch what she ate. Bloody hell. It's no life. I don't know how to cope. Not allowed to drink a certain either, not allowed to, you know. It gets them young because they don't know any better. Wasn't asked if she knew the other girls who were working with Blank, but she said that she didn't know whether Blank introduced her to other girls. DNA didn't push on it because they didn't have jurisdiction. DANY doesn't know how Blank was transported to New York on other occasions. She mentioned a pilot named Larry who flew then to St. Thomas. One time she came in through customs and customs officer asked if she was okay. DANY doesn't have border records. JC did have flight records related to Blank and Blank, so she may have records related to Blank. DANY didn't look into it. In the follow-up interviews and in the records, DANY has found Blank. DANY do not doubt her allegations against Black or Epstein. They believe she was also abused by Staley. They have not found any independent corroboration. She has a Twitter account where she has disclosed being a victim of J. Horowitz represented during the DANY interviews. JC said she was retained in May. Horowitz reached out to JC's firm in February to have her get involved in civil suit against Black. February 2022 told AH about Leon Black. At that point, Blank complaint had been filed, but specific allegations about the massage, biting were redacted at the time. Horowitz has been working with other JE victims at the time. See, that's it. They're making history. This is the whole thing with the Epstein Fund. Yeah, they want you silence, complete silence. You know, but that means like not mention the biting, not mention, you know, the disgusting way you treated her, right, or any of that in the complaint. You just keep your mouth shut and take the money. JC is now representing Blank in connection with the civil claims related to JE and any other individuals related to Black and Staley, and also in connections with criminal matters. Blank falsely denied extortion of Black that was recorded. No corroboration. Was also receiving payments from Black after the fact. Hi, I'm free between 5 a.m. and 3 p.m. today and tomorrow if you have any availability. Thanks, blank. On June 22nd, 2003, at what blank. Unfortunately, I'm tied up this afternoon at a conference. I'll be in the office until 12. Up all before then and give me a call otherwise. Sorry, it turns out I'm in court in the morning. Not this afternoon, I'm free after 1:30 if this is afternoon works. So he's arranging these are things to do with the civil matter. So they're just getting a statement ready and things like that to share with Black, I think, Black's solicitor. I don't understand this really, but yeah, that's just confirmation, it looks like.
Yeah, cake! Cake! Yeah, cake!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These are some of the things this girl put as evidence, you know. Through a therapy, you know, not good. Child going through that. To me, I think she was younger, you know, and I think Black has got away with a lot because of Epstein being gone. I'll read this out now. Victim was in her 30s at the time
10 days.
of the conduct, yes. Okay, on. Met Black at Epstein's New York townhouse sometime in early 2000s. Was working giving massages for a few months at Epstein's townhouse. Victim is supposed to be sending a photo of a woman who introduced her young. She met Epstein at the office at his townhouse and knew that she needed to talk to her about he could help her out with money problems. She says that Epstein never forced himself on her. He tried to get her to No, he didn't force it, and he paid her $300. So she also gave massage to another man in the townhouse, including Black. She may have had contact with others. Epstein introduced her to Black as someone who could help her get a job. He was introduced as Black. She remembers details of where they were in a townhouse, where they met, described clearly the room where she gave the massages. Black allegations. She was giving him a massage. He was on his stomach. At the point that he turned around and said to give it, yeah. And he was violently attacking her. Then he called and asked to meet her for drinks. And she thinks they met at the blank hotel. He talked to her about her credit card debt, his family, etc. At some point, he gave her an envelope with SK in cash, 5k in cash, and says, I hope this helps. He called her again, but she never met again in private. They may have had lunch on one other occasion. JC doesn't know how she extracted herself from Epstein's scene. She said that she met Glenn a number of times at the townhouse. JC didn't have more details on that. Victim disclosed to a friend what happened to her. She is willing to speak to law enforcement. There's loads. Then COVID happened, you know. These are the text of Leon Black's, I think.
So listen, yeah, I've said it before, but the track one of the radio show is very important because you're basically saying, welcome to the next hours. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like invite you and so try and find a song with an incredible intro. That's like always how I start a radio show.
Sorry for the late response. I've been in trial. Happy to chat on the phone. Hope you're well. I have continued to investigate the case against Leon Black and the newest victim, in addition to information that I hope running on Maxwell and Epstein. Hi, happy to check in. I'm free for most of the day, today until 4:30. Hope you're well, and I hope I'll give you a quick call today. A conversation about Leon Black. If she's just discussing, my desk would be great. Perfect. Would you call me, please, the office? It's just confirmation that they have arranged this, and, you know. About one woman who was abused by him and spoke to the FBI. I mean, the thing is, as well, with this guy, he's extremely violent. He was willing to pay the victim, right? But he wanted the notebooks, what she handed over with all the evidence of what she said. I was 6, that. So that's why they've got more there. You know? Like he wanted the clippings, but no one's even mentioned the clippings to him, right? And how did he know about them? That's what they're saying here. So he reluctantly must have paid it off. What a bastard. So yeah, that's why we have the clippings, because he wanted them back, as well as like he wanted the notebook back. On the condition. No evidence of fabrication. Examiner did not go anything as to the clippings in the notebook. Corbyn issued an order indicating that they inclined to sustain the award, but would give Brad Edwards as plaintiff's counsel to submit a brief opposition, which he did. No new arguments in the brief. Principally, the argument is that there's no corroboration claims from the other victims to corroborate the clippings. The other girls could say that they knew the other girl. There's evidence of that, obviously, as well. What an evil piece of work. Well, that's all I've got time for on Black today, but I will be going through more on this, and yeah, thanks for listening. It means everything. Please share, please subscribe. I don't do this, I don't get any funding for this. I'm just here as a citizen to give you this information, that there's more people out there than Epstein that we need to be highlighting here. And let's not forget, he worked for Apollo, you know, the Bilderberg brand, you know, it stinks of corruption, and it needs to end. It needs to be held accountable.